So since we had a request to work on hip release and inner thighs, both stretching and strengthening, we're going to start laying down on our backs and then sliding roller across the sacrum, the widest part of our hips. So once you lay down, then bridge up and then roll the roller in across the widest part here, so it's right on your sacrum. And just begin pulling one knee in on the inhale, the second one in on the exhale. And we'll do a little bit of knee twists here to warm up the back first. So we bring the knees over to the right and turn your head to the left, moving the left shoulder blade down. Exhale, press through the arms to come upright, knees and nose to the ceiling, and then the knees fall to the left as you turn right with your gaze. The right shoulder blade is rounded, the right shoulder is heavy. And exhale to drag the hip up, lifting the knees, and then let the knees fall to the side as you rotate the hips, rotate the pelvic girdle. Trying to end up with the chest parallel to the ceiling and the hips parallel to the wall. We're going back over to the other side. The neck turns easily, so no forcing it. And exhale, start with the breath, then pull that left hip up, the right hip down to bring the legs up to the right. Look away each time. I'll just do one more to the other side. So you push down, you push in with the arms. So feel a little bit of work in the arms and into your lats. Coming over, feel a diagonal stretch in your back and in your abdominals. And then exhale, come back to center. Now here, we'll lift the legs straight up to the ceiling, soft point with the feet, and bring the right leg back over your shoulder, over your chest, and the left leg out and down, away, opening the hip. From here, push into the arms and switch the legs. They sweep past each other and continue to their full range. And stretch again as they move. You're breathing. So it's an inhale for one movement and exhale for the next. Soft point through the toes. You don't want to overpoint and cause cramp in the foot. So it's helpful to think about air flowing through the toes here with a little breeze. Preferably a warm one on a day like today. And see if you can feel that opening in the hip as the leg goes forward, and then the stretch in the back of the leg, of the lifted leg as the leg comes back. And just one more like this. Now let's bring both legs up to the ceiling, externally rotate, and then we'll inhale to pull the legs apart sideways. The open leg are coming from the apex of the ring going down each side, and exhale, pull the legs together, lift them up, and tap the heels. And we open again. Switch here. And exhale to lift. Again. So this definitely stretches the upper inner thighs. And then try to think about working from the upper inner thighs to close the legs, to lift them up instead of moving from your toes. And that will give you more work where you're looking for it. So you pretty much always have a choice whether we're working from the ends of the body or more of the center when we're working with the limbs. So here, focusing on the upper thighs really helps. The upper outer thighs pull the legs apart, the upper inner thighs pull the legs together. One more just like that. And then once we come to the top, slow enough that you feel the work. Leave the left leg up and with the right leg trace the arm downhill, holding the left side heavy. Exhale and pull the leg up as you press down through your arms. Bring the right leg up to the ceiling, and now the left leg moves away and downhill. Big exhale, reach the belly, and then pull the leg up. So again, we're working to really feel that inner thigh movement. And it happens that you'll feel it more if you go slowly in both directions, down and up. So even slowing down the movement 10%, and you'll notice it. We're working in those upper inner thighs when you lift the leg. Think about moving your leg through water instead of through air. You know how it feels to be able to pull like chest deep and trying to move the body. There's a lot of resistance. You can create that with that imagery if you really commit to it. And then once you bring the leg all the way up, let's go back to scissor split. So right leg back, left leg forward. And now I'm drawing semicircles with each leg, then moving the opposite direction. Each foot, each set of toes, paintbrush, painting a big circle on the ceiling. This is great for like opening up the hips ability to rotate the leg on the socket. And you'll feel stretching work in the muscles all around the upper thigh. And hopefully too, like a little hamstring stretch as the leg reaches up and climbs to the ceiling again. Now, like when you're in the dorm and you don't have a roller, you could even just prop your hips up on either block or supports. It's nice to have the hip elevated so that you really get that drop the legs that goes forward and down to keep it so as stretch here, the main hip flexor stretch. All right, we're going to finish this circle up. And then bring both legs up to the ceiling. Here, bend your knees, exhale, lower the feet, and lift your hips. Let's rotate the roller and slide it back where it belongs if it's slid at all. And then from here, we'll roll the knees into your chest and go into a frog position. Heels together, chest apart. Narrow pizza slice between your big toes. And you push the legs up and out on a diagonal. So the angle matters here, right? Because if you take the legs straight up, you might feel, and even back a little bit, you might feel that hamstring stretch. And that could be really useful for you. Or if you want to feel more in the low core, you take the legs out a bit lower and just be sure that you feel it in the abs and you're not overarching your spine. You'll know when it feels right and you'll know when it feels wrong. So accommodate that. Actively push and then actively pull. Again, if you're sitting on each chair at the beach, you can be pushing sand with your heels back into the ocean and then digging a little bit of a trench as you pull the heels in and pull the sand in under your chair. So reach again. And exhale and drive your heels back. Two more like this, just stretch out. Change the angle as you need to. And one more time. And come in. And then let's stay in turn out as we bicycle. So the right leg goes up, out, and away. And you'll bring the foot down, turn out, and pull it in along the mat, skating across the surface. And so you're ending up sort of in a little bit of a one-legged frog position here. This could also, of course, be done with the legs in parallel. You just work a little bit different muscle as you do that. And then when you're ready, go back pedal and reverse. Breathing as you do it. Inhale, Alice, exhale, just like the legs move to the air one after the other. And then here we'll bring both knees in parallel. And let's lower the left foot down. Get the whole foot grounded. Adjust the roller or your body as you should. And then straighten the right leg up to the ceiling. We'll do a single leg lower lift. So soft point, the foot reaches all the way out and down. Tap the heel, go long, and then exhale, sweep the belly in and pull the leg up on the exhalation. Bring it back far enough to feel the hamstring stretch And when you feel that, you might also feel a little stretch in the quad. And then push forward and down. See if you can reach a little further with the thumb connection to the mat than it was previously. And bring it up. Both legs should be aware of their inner line. So the foot that's grounded, really press into the big toe ball of the foot, the big toe itself and the inner heel. And with the other leg that's moving, reaching the big toe and also the upper inner thigh. As if the legs were only about 4 inches apart in 2 separate tracks. Keep them in their own track as they go. One more time. Tap your right heel down, then bend that knee, slide the foot back, and then we'll pull the left knee to the chest and extend the leg up to the ceiling, and you go forward and down. But depending on your flexibility, you might need to bend the knee as you reach the heel from the floor. You might also need to pull the other knee into your chest to ease the feeling of stretch across the hip and into the low back. We inhale down, we exhale, we lengthen to lift it up. It's really common for the standing leg of the right here to fall sideways if you're not paying attention to the inner line of your thigh. So keep that foot engaged on the inside line as you move the left leg. Go a little further every time you tap your back. And see if you go a little further every time you bring your leg back and open your chest. Once more. And then bend that knee, lower the foot. And again, you might want to lift up and rotate the lower hip to in a fresh spot. It's not invented. And now we'll just stretch the right leg forward. And then the right arm back. Again, option would be to pull the other knee in. Or, of course, you can just bend the right leg until you feel the stretch that's right for your body today. And take nice slow deep breaths in and out. Keep lengthening from your fingers to your shoulder, to your hip bone, to your toes. On the right side. And on both sides of the body, exhale, let the body relax and sink towards the ground. One more breath here. Exhale slowly, completely. And then we'll bring the arm back, bring the foot back, and extend the left side out. First the leg. See how you feel across the front of the hip bone crest, and then you can choose to take the arm back or not. We're reaching long through the fingertips if you have this position, and long and out to the center of the foot. But typically the two sides look different, so just notice where you feel tighter and where your body has more freedom to move and stretch. All right, and then if it works for you, both legs forward, both arms back. Just open up this whole front line of your body. The legs will want to externally rotate, allow that. Hopefully you feel that stretch right by the hip bone crest and down towards the top of the thighs. With a slight additional arch in the lower back, but nothing that feels like it's cranking you up in a place that doesn't want to have that much extension. All right, and then we can bring the arms back, the feet back, bent, and then pull both knees into your chest. Always a good idea here to do a counter stretch, just pull the knees into your body. Curl the tail up for a little more stretch. If these are an issue, you would hold onto the hamstrings, the back of the thighs, and let the calves rest on the calves. All right, so the roller, reload the feet as you exhale, and then lift up off of this, push to the side, and lower this back down, just take one more stretch. Just a little forward, feel your body goes down. Right, so we're rolling up, so bring the arms to the ceiling and back. Take that big yawn and reach to the ceiling, to the sky. Lift the arms up, start to lift the head, neck, and shoulders. Exhale, roll up, and then pull the waist back as you dive forward. The biggest stretch will happen if you pull the toes back and the heels forward to really elongate the back line of your legs. Good. Yeah, that's improving. Good job. And then we can start to go back. So legs together. If you want to for your roll-ups, you can find a fair band around your feet, hold on. But otherwise, reach forward with the arms and articulate down slowly, slowly. And then the arms get back and stretch behind you once the body is down. Now the arms higher will be more of a challenge. Only exhale them when you need to. Come up and curve the spine around to the visible ball. Wrap your head, your chest around that ball and pull your waist back into your back wherever it feels like it's tight, typically in the sacral area. And then you can lift the arms as we start to go back. Only keep them high if you have control on the way down. The tail curls up, you imprint your hips, your waist, your ribs, your shoulder blades, then the shoulders and the neck and the head go back, and you can roll the arms forward. So lots of different variations here, depending on your flexibility at this moment and your strength across the abdominal line. Over and down. Push out through your heels again. Try to press your knees into the ground when you're able to increase that stretch in the back line. And then we're coming back. Push out through the soles of your feet. Come down, try to really work the right and left sides of the body. As you come back, as you stretch your body open. And let's do one more. Big exhale. And run forward, and let's hold the stretch. Or as the case may be, get rid of a layer. So Pilates wrote about something that he called an internal furnace, which meant to him that when you really accessed your core with breathing and or with movement, your whole body would heat up tremendously. And we often feel that, either in the roll-up or in the hundreds, in particular, designed to really get the blood flow throughout the whole body and to activate the deep muscles around our spine and the deep abdominal muscles as well. So, sorry for the delay. We're going to roll back into hundreds. But usually people don't want to delay them in two. So legs together and arms extend out. Look down, curl the tail up, and we'll start to roll back to your upright curl. Stop at the base of the tips of the blades, pull the legs in, extend the legs up, or leave them bent, and start pumping the arms. Inhale, and exhale. The belly pulls tight and down. And reaching up through the top of your head, and the gaze is down on the navel. The arms sweep up and down here at your side. Create a little breeze, get yourself a little more heated up internally. Turn that furnace up. It's cold outside. We're getting used to that. Maybe. So toes are soft still. Feet are pointed, but not over pointed. And try to press the legs into each other to firm up the inside thighs, right? The pelvic floor and the low abdominis muscle transverse. So actively reaching the fingers across the room. Pull the shoulders slightly forward and in. A little bit of internal rotation through the upper arm and through the hand will help you widen the shoulder blades behind you to have a little bit more curve Maybe you can come up a little deeper and feel those upper abdominals as well as the lower ones. One more breath, exhale it out, and then we fold the knees in and lay it down. Push, grab the roller, take it across under my nose. And here, open the feet, but not the feet together. Slowly turn the head side to side. Getting a massage here into the neck muscles and into the base of the skull. Also, you can feel maybe you're opening your chest. This way with the shoulders falling towards the ground and the head and neck a little elevated. If you find a spot that feels really tight, stay there and rock back and forth on it. Or draw little circles with your nose. And then reverse. You might want to do that on the other side, or find a different place on the same side. With the roller, whatever you feel is point of tension, and you have the time to deal with it, or make the time to deal with it at some point. You want to go into the neighborhood, into the vicinity before you narrow in on the epicenter of the tension. Sometimes it's too much to hit it directly. You might have to do a little indirect release. All right, and then we're taking the roller to the side. And here we're using the bare bend for single leg circles. So pull the right leg into the chest. The band goes around the ball of the foot. And the top of the arch. Reach the leg up high. Bend the knee as necessary. Try to get a little stretch the back of the leg if the leg reaches as vertically as you can. So if your hamstrings are really tight and normally leg would be out low, just bend the knee and bring it up until you feel the stretch in the hamstring. So we're going to lift the leg, reach up through the heel, and then some point, and roll the toes down, flex up through the heel. So articulating here through the whole line of the foot, toe to heel, and then heel to toe. Meanwhile, pulling the leg back far enough that you get a healthy stretch in the hamstring and even a gentle stretch at the back of the knee. Nothing extreme there. And then we'll end with one more sun point. And circle. The hips stay stable. You bring the right leg across the left and lower the foot down. External rotation to take it out to the right and bring it up high to the ceiling. And again, short inhale to start the circle and a long exhale to complete it. Keep exhaling, 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 exhaling to the top. And reach again. Up. Try to hold the hip rounded so that you're putting more weight in the right hip as the leg moves to the left, and more weight in the left hip as the leg swings out to the right. Stretch again here. And go further each time out into space, letting that bare band into more of a stretch. It becomes paler, lighter in color, and gives you more support the further out you reach. Now here at the top, let's reverse. Exhale, rotate, left side is heavy, heavy. Drop it into the floor and then drag the leg across. Right hip is heavy and the leg goes left. And we reach again. Sure you're rotating that leg on the socket as well as circling the foot in the air. It moves from an external rotation to neutral to an internal rotation back to neutral at the top where we started. And reach again. The arms are actually pushing down into the mat to help you stabilize the upper body. Keeping the wrists as straight as you can and pivoting from the elbow to follow the line, the direction of movement of the leg and the band. One more. The more you can push out with the foot and pull back with the pelvic calves, the more space you're going to create in the joint. Okay, so now pulling to the top. Right hand holds the band. Left hand holds the limb to go down and take the right leg out to the right. Rock it a little bit here towards your shoulder and away. Feel some work in the arm. And then exhale, pull the leg up to the ceiling, switch hands down. We'll bring it across and lift the hip and then look out along your right arm towards your fingertips. Stretch the leg. Rotate it internally. Bend the knee if you feel like that would give you a better stretch. You pull it closer to your shoulder. The right shoulder blade is still down. You might feel that stretching across the chest wall into the upper front of the shoulder. Then let's unwind the body and come down. Left shoulder to waist to right glute, lift the leg up. And here, grab a high on your bed. And then pull the elbows wide to come up to an upper curl. See if you can pull your chest towards the leg, the head towards the foot, and the leg towards your bum. And then pull the knee in. Bend is up. Hug the knee into your chest. And then release it forward. Shake out both legs. Feels like it dropped about an inch. And that inch is now at the end of the foot because the leg is longer. I don't think that's possible. I know that's not possible, but it sure feels different. So here we go. Pull the left leg in. Now how tight it feels compared to the way the other one feels now. And we'll place the band on the left leg. The foot goes up and you chip up on the band and pull the elbows close to your waist, closer to your hips. And lift that left leg up and point and flexes here. The one toe, two more heel, roll to the front. Get that articulation through the toes. We're going to roll the toes down and then also up as you're working here through the whole chain. And we'll end with a soft point and circle. Inhale across the body. The left leg goes to the right. You pull it down low. You sweep it out to the right while out to the left while the right side is steady. And do it again. Stretching a little further each time, as if the foot left a jet trail in the air. We do this big oval in space, reaching further and further out so the foot spirals away from the pelvic girdle while you maintain that heaviness on the mat with your hips like this. And reach it. Breathe through it. You want that long exhale to pull the belly tight and deep. Part of the way you get really strong from the inside out is by activating the deepest abdominal muscle, the transversus, at the end of the long exhalation. If you keep breathing out, there's nothing left. You'll feel that inner corset there. Again, stretch. All the way around, we'll come to the top and pause, and now reverse. Out to your left. And go low. Drag it across, push the air aside, move up through it, and reach again. Here's another great exercise for those inner thighs, to open them up and then also to strengthen them. And reach again. First, really, it's fantastic for the whole joint area. All the muscles surrounding it, as well as the joint itself. We'll come here to the top and then check up on the bend. Open the leg out to the left and rotate the hips to the right in order to keep the right hip bone grounded. And then you'll rock that left leg just gently, very slowly towards the left shoulder and away. Opening up more of those upper inner thigh muscles. And also working the core harder to stabilize the opposite side of the body down. And then we'll exhale to pull the leg up. Switch hands and bring it across. Reach out for your sits bone to lengthen the waist and rotate the leg internally. each leg is approximately 1/6 of your body weight, which is why this makes such a great stretch because it really puts some load into the back to help you rotate your spine and feel that work of also stabilizing the hip against the movement of the leg in certain other positions here. We'll pull the hip down to lift the leg up. And then once it's centered here above the hip, reach up high on the back. Upper curl, pull down in with your arms to come up with the head and the shoulders and the chest. We'll go back a little bit more if you can. You probably have a little extra give that you weren't thinking about. And then we'll release down and pull the knee in. Take the back off to the side. And hug the left leg in here. Pull it tight. Shoulders still easy, shoulder blades still heavy into the mat. And then release the left leg out and down and shake out your legs. Hopefully a good change. And the legs feel like they're ready to take on the rest of your day. Okay, so we're coming up now. Pull the right leg in, lift the left leg up to the ceiling, elbows wide. Lift your head, look up for rolling like a ball. So here at the front foot of your mat, traditionally hands to those shins. If it's new for you, or you need a little bit more space in the curve of your spine, hands to the hamstrings. So we curl the toe up, we pull the waist back, rounding the lower back, and float the feet up. Push the hands into the shins and the shins up into your arms, so you feel the arms engaged. As you look into your arms, we're going to roll. So you can lift the tail, roll just the shoulder blades, butt in the air, exhale, come back where you start. So you keep your gaze down on your navel to protect the neck and the skull, and of course, the brain inside. So this also ensures that the shape stays the same as you're rolling back and forth, because obviously you want to roll like a ball instead of try to roll as a plank. We love planks too, but not for this exercise. So edges of the feet press in. If you have a ball and you want to squeeze it between your thighs, that can also be strengthened. And if you drop it by accident, it's not going to hurt anybody. So let's roll again. Come up, and then we can lower the feet. And we're going back to the ab series. So right leg will be in, so right hand above the ankle on the right shin, left hand still on the shin, but below the knee. And we pick up the leg. We roll back slowly, extending the leg out as a counterbalance, and pull that leg in tight. Again, knee issue people would hold onto the back of the thigh. And inhale, switch the legs, outside into the ankle, and switch again. As you release the leg, it shoots forward, right out of the hip socket, at whatever level feels good for you, right? Sometimes people need to climb up if it's too much load for their back. You can also try to really press the heel down into the sits bone. Do a little more stretch into your quad. And use the arms to pull yourself up towards the leg as you're doing it. We're going to end with the leg in and progress to the double leg stretch. So both knees in, one hand to each shin. Arms and legs lift to the ceiling. You fold the knees in as you embrace the legs in a big circle with the arms, keep looking down. And you start yawning the shape open away from center as you can support the curvature of your spine without falling flat. Good. So it's not just about how far you can take your arms and legs, but how far you can do it while maintaining your center. Reach, embrace, and one more time. Lengthen and hug everything in on the exhale. And now rest your foot down. Turn your head side to side. You can lower the toes, the feet. Open the arms and rock your knees in the opposite direction. Above your gaze. Center, stretch the legs forward, roll up. And then we'll roll back again for scissors. So we did this with the elevated, now we're going to do it focusing on the core. So we roll back, and as you come back in, feet lift, right leg up, left leg forward, and bring your hands as high up on the leg as you can, elbows bent, pull your chest towards your leg. Inhale and switch. Feel that stretch and switch again. The torso is stable as you move the legs. You try to go as high as you can on the leg. You grab it, and see if you can pull your chest up a little higher, perhaps there. So you connect to your core from your hand to your leg, and then maintain that as you release the leg and switch them in and out. We'll end here with the left leg coming up. And then bring the right leg up to meet it. Take your hands behind your head to support the skull. Pull the head up and look down at your navel. Elbows in so that the shoulders are a little narrow in the front and wide in the back. Now, as you press the legs together, you're going to slide your toes across the ceiling. Only as far as you can keep your waist pressing down. You feel the abdominal wall engaging with control, and then you just slowly bring the heels back up. So the legs go out and away. Right? You definitely feel that increased load. Be careful with it because, as we've discussed before, the weight of your legs attaches right into your lumbar spine and the intervertebral discs. So we want to be respectful of that, even while we're working to challenge our strength in our abdominal wall. And also build strength in the psoas muscles that support the weight of our legs. By taking our time to be mindful of what's going on in our body, in our world with this exercise. And one last one. Exhale deeply to lift the legs, and here we twist to the right, over the knee, and twist again. The legs shoot straight out of the hip socket. They're not randomly flailing around down there. You try to come up and forward, and not just side bend, but actually lift one half of the rib cage up and towards the end. Last one to your left, come center, and come down. You guys did great. That's the whole ab series. Really nice. And then we can move forward and up and open the legs for spine stretch. Here's where you might consider elevating your hips if you're tight in the back line of your body. Your hamstrings could be low back, any or all of the above. So we sit upright on the sits bones, a little indentation in your waist. Bend the knees to make that so. And then the arms come forward, parallel to the ground. We're going to lightly press down with the arms, go up with your heart and up through your halo, and then look down your nose. The back of the hip reaches out, over and down. We're diving forward to the space between your knees. And pull the waist back here. Stretch your spine, make a nice curve through your back. Press down through your legs, sink the tail, and come all the way upright. As you lift your chest, the blades knit together and fall behind you. It's great. And then let's do that again. Up, over, and down. Head meets the neck first, then the upper back, then the mid back, then the low back. So notice that you're not starting just like hinging at the hip. You have to work your way down the spine on the way over, and then up the spine on the way back. So track the hip, waist, ribs, shoulders, neck. Head's the last thing to float up. And one more time. Pull the head forward, feel the length in your neck. There's actually a lot of mobility in the neck, in the cervical vertebra. And when you get over low, stay here and pull your waist back again. See curved spine. Maybe pull the chest back, if you can, to get more stretch in the calves and the rest of the back. And then we're pulling the heels in towards the tail and the tail forward on the mat towards the heels. You want to sit near the front for open leg balance and rock. Easiest, hands behind the thighs. Also really good if your hamstrings are tight to have that extra support. Otherwise, hands through the legs and then on top of the ankles. We rock the tail up to balance on the sacrum. And then we'll extend the right leg up, stretching it up here. And exhale, fold it down, keeping that balance point on your sacrum. And then the left extends. Rotate the hand a little bit to the outside of the leg for a better grip. And then bring it back towards the inside as you fold. Right leg goes up. And pull it back. Doing great. Left. Stretch. Yes. And back. Both legs now. Up you go. It's a little more low, but it is symmetrical. So both easier and more difficult, just different, right? And then back down. Let me do it again. The hands might slide around and come a little lower to hold on to like the belly of the calf muscle. If you can bring it higher, that's great. And then take it back. Now we're going to take it up, hold the position, and then start rolling. So take it up, hold on, look at your abs, pull the tail up to start moving back. We roll to the shoulder blades. Exhale, forward and up to balance. And again, take it back. And exhale forward. Think of holding like a larger ball here between the feet so that there's a little bit of excess of work through the inner line of your legs. And one more time. Back you go. Hips in the air. And back to your sacrum. Fold the knees. Be grounded. Sit up for a second. Open the knees and then forward. Just stretch. And open those hips again. You put your elbows into whatever part of your leg sort of works there. Try to push the knees apart a little bit more. And then we're coming up and rolling back for. We're going to do a little bit of work here on the advanced corkscrew. So that is a combination of doing shoulder bridge with a tilt to the body going up and down. So you're working into your obliques. And also jackknife. So we're going to do a few exercises that lead up to the advanced corkscrew and see if we can put it together. So I say the first one is you can either use the TheraBand or not, but we're going to do an oblique twist down one side of the body and then the other. So feels definitely better off on the mat. Go to it. You can take the TheraBand and then I'm going to twist to the left. So the left elbow goes up and out so that when I roll back, I'm not landing on it. The right arm moves forward. And with that rotation, you're going to curl the tail up and go down on the left side of the spine. So line of muscle about 2 inches to the left, go down to the tip of the blade. Keep looking down and around to your left as you dig your heels in and come upright. So you really want to feel those obliques, and it's helpful here to push into the opposite foot and hip. So we'll twist to the right now, going down the right side. So once I get to the tip of the blade, I'm thinking really digging my heels in, but particularly digging in and pulling back with the left heel. Up and center, and we go to the other side again. So you go down. Can you feel where the muscle is? Like it's like a whole tube here of muscle that is on the, creates like little hills on either side of the vertebra, like the spine's in a little valley, and then these muscles are like 2 cords of muscles down your back. So we're trying to go down to that part to get enough rotation, but also strengthen into the obliques on the front of your thigh. And again, to the right, going down. And then we're going to go up. You also would have had the option to do this without the band, where you just have one elbow out and the other arm forward to come down. And then I really need the heels to come back up. Right. And then to the other side. And the 2 sides might be surprisingly different. Maybe not to you, because you've been Pilates for a while. And center. Okay, so now we're going to still use some of those same muscles as we go into shoulder bridge and go up and down on the diagonal, just like you just did here with the feet grounded. This time we're going to do it with the hips in the air. So we'll just roll straight back. And then bring your heels sort of closer to your sit bones, maybe 8 to 10 inches. maybe a little less, depends how your knees are feeling. And then we stand into the arms, we stand into our feet, and you do a pelvic tuck, pulling the tail up. And then pushing these forward, you lift your hips, your waist, your ribs, your shoulders, and at the top, roll to the outer arm, push down to the lateral edge of the shoulder, the lateral edge of the arm, even the pinky edge of the hand. So that's just a regular bridge. And then let's just roll down the middle, come down again to kind of warm up the spine for this. So you go down from the base of the throat all the way down to the tailbone. All right, we're gonna go up one more time and come down on a diagonal. So gaze is straight ahead, never turn your head to the side when you're up. So you rock the pelvis, the pelvis. You pull the knees forward, up over the toes. You come all the way up here to press into the shoulder blades. Now shift your weight to the right so that the left hip is much higher than the right one. And you can feel how the right side of the body is lower than the left side. You go down over the right shoulder blade, to the base of the right ribs, to the right waist, to the right hip, all the way down onto the glute, and the left glute is still off of the mat, right? You feel like your body's tipped like a sailboat that got caught by the wind, right? So now we're coming up on the right side again. So we start pulling the tail up on that diagonal, come all the way up until you're on that right shoulder blade, and then let's switch. So both shoulder blades are weighted, and then twist to the left. So now we go down on the left side. So sort of imagine you're inside a really narrow hallway. So your feet, your knees, the shoulders are all like right up against the wall. And we're just coming up on one side. So what you don't want to do is swing the hip way out to the side in like a side bend. We're coming up to the left shoulder blade, go across to the right, and go down again here on the right side. And up again. I'm going to just quickly look at the people here in the room with me. So you guys are going to do it again. If it is a look, you can do it like this. That seems good. And once you go up, you go across the shoulder blades to the other direction. It's really good. Good, turn your head. Yeah. Yeah, take it straight up. Put a little weight on the left side. All the way down to the ground. How are you doing with this? Yeah, it's like a mental puzzle to right? For somebody. So you're going down. And up on the go to the left, down the left side. Yeah, that's good. Yes, you feel like there's a space underneath the opposite side. And then go up and back. Side and across the other. Good job. But again, try not to tip your head so you can see it. Yeah, that's great. I know you know that. That's right. Yeah. That's good. So that's what we have to get in our brain before we add a little to it. So once you're centered, come all the way down the midline. And then if you want, you can watch me do one. Like if you want to come off your mat even to say it, because it is like, it's sort of a confusing concept to go up and down with a twist in your spine. And the thing is, you always want to sort of think about the spine going like along, like if I drew a line here in the middle of my mat from end to end, like one of the lines in the middle of the road, I would want to keep my spine suspended over that center point. So in this exercise, it also involves doing jackknife. So I'm going to do it from the floor, but we may start when we do it together, doing it with the roller across under the hips. So you're not going to go all the way up and down to protect the spine while you figure this out. So we actually start with the jackknife up. So pull the legs in, up, and come up and over into a jackknife. So I'm going to rotate, start going down the right side of my spine. So my feet are a little bit off center, but but my hips are pretty much aligned with my rib cage. And I'm going to come down on the right side of the spine, I'll be pushing the floor away. And then once I'm there, the legs do a circle from the right to the left, come around the curve, almost all the way back in, push up and come up in the twist and 7. And then we're going to twist to the left and go down the left side. So even though my feet are off the center line, my spine should still be on the center, right? And then circle around to the right. We push in, we push down, up with a twist, and untwist at the top. And we would do that, multiple times before we come down the middle. Yeah. So it takes a lot of oblique work, and then also like confidence in doing those jackups. So should we try? So why don't you grab your roller and take it across under your hips, unless you've been doing this a long time, that's an option for you, you don't have to do it. But I'm gonna come watch just to be sure. I hope it was helpful to see it. Like I had a really hard time when I learned it because I didn't even understand like how you could stay centered with your body on a diagonal.
You or us acute ones to make your legs are forming a teardrop.
Oh, yes, that's great. Thank you. Yep. So, yeah, you can think about the circle with the legs. It's really wide at the bottom and it narrows into the top in a narrow V, like a raindrop or a teardrop drawn in the sky over you. So first you're going to start going up. So push into the roller, up with your hips. And then you press the legs together and you're down slowly to one side. You're down, going down to the left. And then around. Oh, no, it's on the right. And then around to the other side. And then come up on the side. Exhale, lift and then center the top. Good. And then going down the way you came up. And circle. Yes. Really good. Push into your arms and come up. Push your ribs. Okay. Center. And then down. And around the curve. And up the other side. So that's great. I think hamstring tightness is a little bit tricky, but that's okay. So you can always bend these legs to you on that. Down into your arms, you pull from your legs, come up. And then down and circle around. All right. So I'm going to give you all a different challenge today. And then as you get more familiar with this, you can take the roller away and just go from the ground. But nice, very good. All right, so let's come on up to standing. We'll try a little balance work here and a little hip rotation. We'll see. I haven't done this in a while, so I'm hoping it works. So you take the roller upright, and then it's a little bit in front of you and to one side. You're gonna pick up your leg, bring it over and around and tap down. Yeah. Yes, good. And then reverse it. Outside side, forward and around. And I just put my hands on my hips because I wasn't really sure what to do with them. I'm sure you can have the arms out to the side, which might help your balance. Good. Yeah, definitely advantage to be taller, I have to say. I realize that. And then let's try the other side. Aren't you glad you asked for hip mobility and strength? Yes. So, thank you for that thought. And doing the other side. And it could be easier or harder on one side or the other, either because of mobility of the hip or because of stability in your standing leg. So the combination would make it really hard, and lots of credit to you guys for doing this. When I start my clients at the studio, we have a half roller that's only like 18 inches long. So good for us for doing these. And I think that ends our session for today. Congratulations, we all survived. Fantastic doing it.